Hi, friends. Before we start, I wanted to set up a few things for you. So, first, the main character in the story is called Uncle Sam. So, Uncle Sam. I'm just going to sign Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Okay? And then they talk a lot about tiles. Tiles are like pieces of either glass or another smooth material. They usually have maybe a picture or a painting on it. Sometimes they're made from bowls, or like the ground sometimes has tile on it. Tile. Okay, so we talk about that a lot. Um, and this story happens in California, and the man, Uncle Sam, is from Italy. Okay, so let's listen to the story.
Hi, second grade friends. I wanted to share a book with you that kind of goes along with what we're doing in science right now, which is using smaller pieces to make something big. And also, this book talks about how one man had a dream, and he uses all these things that he found in the garbage that he reuses to make something beautiful. So, just wanted to share this with you because I thought it was very inspiring. It's called Dream Something Big. So just to preface this, these are pictures of a place in California, and there's a gentleman who built this by hand. All these little pictures you see are part of his little village that he made out of recycled garbage. Trying to click. Okay, Something Big, the story of the Watts Tower by Diana Hutz Aston. Oops, okay. I didn't know it then. Oh wait, I'm sorry, let me go back. Okay, so one chip of tile. Uncle Sam held it in his hand, studying it, his imagination turning like a kaleidoscope. He put it back in his pocket. I'm gonna do something big, I heard him say. So if you take one look at that little piece of tile, that's a chip of a tile from something bigger. Maybe it was from a bowl, maybe it was from someone's kitchen. Either way, just that one chip of tile that was Uncle Sam's inspiration. I didn't know it then, but that single chip of tile was no longer trash. It was the first building block to a candy-covered castle. Uncle Sam was my neighbor. His name was Simon, but we never called him that. We lived in Watts, California on 107th Street, where the aroma of tamales sizzled in the air, where the trucks of Japanese farmers rumbled to and from the vegetable markets, where music and laughter rippled from diners and dancers at the Watts Tavern. So here we are. We have Sam, or Simon, and he finds the one chip, and his dream begins. No one really knew what to think about Uncle Sam, this man who talked to himself as he hunted through garbage for things no one wanted. A rainbow of broken teapots, plates, tiles, sparkling bottles. I collected jewels with him along the railroad tracks, sacks and sacks of them. My favorites were the tiles with the blue flowers, the soda bottles with the girl and the bubbles, and the green horse. For every bag of bits, he gave me a penny. Pennies bought a lot of candy. So there's Sam collecting all the garbage, and there's this little girl who was his neighbor at the time, helping or watching. Uncle Sam worked in a tile factory every day except Sundays and holidays. But he worked on his creation every night, every Sunday, and every holiday. He took those bags of glass and smashed them. Whack, whack, whack. I've watched him shovel steel rods under the railroad tracks and transform them into rings. Uncle Sam was small and skinny, but his muscles were mighty. Some people called him crazy, but he wasn't. He was a magician. In broken things, he saw what no one else noticed. He found hearts in the backs of old ice cream parlor chairs, flowers in faucet handles, the sun in rusty gears. People who couldn't see the hearts and flowers wondered, why build it? Why build it? I can't tell you, he said. Why a man make the pants? Why a man make the shoes? Uncle Sam talked to himself while he mixed a secret recipe for mortar. This much sand, this much cement, this much water. Cement as powdery as flour, sand as finely ground as sugar, water to bind them. He wrapped wire mesh around the poles, smoothed the cement around them, and carefully pressed a jigsaw of jewels into his batter of wet cement. Day after day, year after year, working on his something big, without gloves, until his fingerprints were worn away. So I'm guessing this man is a really hard worker. A ship appeared, a tower rose, a cactus garden bloomed. And there's Uncle Sam just climbing up as he builds. In this strange mix of Italian and English that was difficult for all of us to understand, he told us about the great towers and the ship he'd seen as a child in the parades of his village at Rodovalenti Towers that were 6 stories high. This must be in Italy, where he's from. Uncle Sam worked long into the night singing to himself, flitting from rung to rung like a firefly. Turn out the lights, Uncle Sam. I'm a-working up here, Marguerite. Every day, the trains passed by with tens of thousands of passengers a week, going to and from Los Angeles. The towers were Uncle Sam's stage. The passengers were his audience. Dust from the train swirled around him, but he didn't let it bother him. He was in the spotlight. Another tower arose. Uncle Sam showed my children the triangles in the branches of trees. Triangles, he said, were the strongest shapes, and he built his towers with triangles. Day after day, year after year. So Uncle Sam has been building this tower for so long that the little neighbor is now an adult and she has her own children. And they're watching Sam build these beautiful towers. He showed me and my children the beauty of a broken angel, a bowling ball, a boot, the usefulness of an airplane wing. The patterned shells and rocks could make Uncle Sam was like a spider weaving his web of steel and cement and lacy shadows. The third tower was his last. He wrote his initials and Nuestro Pueblo in cement. Our town, it read, a village for the world. Not long after that, Uncle Sam suddenly put away his tools and jewels and stopped building. We were all surprised. He put on a suit, pinned his life savings inside of it, and gave the deed to his triangular lodge with its ships and towers, fountains and gardens to a friend and walked away. We never saw Uncle Sam again. So when it says he gave his deed to his friend, that was the piece of paper that says he owns the property. So he gave the property that he owned and all these towers to his neighbor and just left to go be with his family. But I remember him, my Uncle Sam, my neighbor for 34 years, the dreamer. People no longer call Simon Lavia foolish and crazy. They call him a man of genius who built a gigantic flower of folk art. A man with a heart full of gratitude to the country that had invited him to dream without limits. The country that had given him the freedom to reach for the sky. Uncle Sam's Something Big is now a national landmark. And this is a real life picture of the towers that he built. Just beautiful, all made from recycled goods. Here's some more pictures of the towers. It's pretty amazing. All the details. It says 10,000 seashells, 6,000 bits of glass, 15,000 tiles, 11,000 pieces of pottery. So very amazing. And then it has, if you want to make your own tower, you can create your own tower. So here are some more pictures, which I just find amazing. This is all of his work that he did by hand. He worked for 34 years in his spare time making this amazing collection of towers. But I thought it was very inspiring. And so this shows how one man had a dream and he pursued it on his own time and built these beautiful towers. And although it was something that he dreamt that he wanted to do, now it's shared with the whole world and people come from all over the world to come see it. Hope you guys like this story as much as I do.